How is the real estate market doing here now that we are in the month of August? Fall is coming soon and folks are thinking about how the real estate market is here in the Aurora area. Now in this video, I'd like to do, just a couple of market updates here and there, quarterly actually, but now that again, we're wrapping up the summer season and getting into autumn, some of the questions you might have is, how is the detached single-family home market here in Aurora doing right now? Okay, my name is Luis Torres. I'm a realtor here in the Aurora area, and here on my YouTube channel I try to give some updates here and there about how the market is doing. So that's what you're looking for. You clicked on the right video. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the way I gauge how a market is doing is by three pillars basically. What are the prices looking like? Are they trending upward? Are they staying the same, or are they on a downward trajectory? Number one, right? Number two, the other pillar I look at is the inventory amount. Is the inventory still low, or is it getting better? Is it decreasing? We look at that, right? So I can make sure to at least give you that information and you have a good understanding of the inventory. And number three, the buyer demand. Has buyer demand increased? Is it still hot? Is it decreasing, right? All those three things that I look at, those are the questions that folks are asking, and that's the top of mind items that folks again are looking to understand. If you're looking to sell a property, you want to know how many competitors there are, if the prices are really high. If you're looking to buy properties, then you want to know how many buyers are out there. Okay, so let's just get right into it. I'm going to use InfoSparks here to give the data and statistics regarding this, and we're also not going to only look at the monthly statistics, but also look at pattern the last 3 years, the last 5 years, to kind of give you context about what's been happening here, okay? So it's not just about seeing what properties are available in the moment, it's also about understanding the zoomed out view, the context, the historicity of this real estate world that we're in, okay? So again, here we are focusing on the Aurora general area. Like I said, we're not focusing on Chicago, we're not focusing on other suburbs, it's just the Aurora general area, which is Aurora, Illinois, Montgomery, Illinois, Oswego, Illinois, and a little bit of North Aurora, even dabbling slightly in the Naperville area as well. Again, to give you an idea. Why this area? Because again, there's a certain market of buyers looking in this area. And these buyers, and this video is really for those that are interested in the Aurora area, they dabble with homes in this zone. Okay, so if they're looking for this area, Elgin really doesn't enter their mind, or other areas like Joliet, or even the city of Chicago, or even Southern Illinois. Like all these areas are different markets, and we're focusing on this one here, okay? So going back to this, the market that we're talking about here specifically is not even the duplex market or the multifamily market, and not even the attached home market, that is the townhomes or condominiums. We're only focusing on single family detached homes at a certain price range too. Again, in the city of Aurora, there's higher amounts, and then there's amounts that are more modest, and then there's other amounts that are lower. So in this video, again, just because I'm giving you a little bit of context, we're focusing on $300,000 or less, okay? Single family detached homes, and these are resale sale conditions, not new constructions. These are traditional sales, not real estate owned, not short sale kind of transactions, okay? So that's what we're gonna focus on here. And let me go ahead and start bringing up, as you can see here on the screen, there are already information and data that we're going to be looking at. Okay, so let me just go ahead and pull up the monthly statistics. And again, the monthly statistics basically is sharp data. It's not blended in to the previous 11 months. That's the rolling 12 months. This is the data point of that specific month. No smoothing over anything. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Number one, what are the prices like? What are the prices like? Let's go ahead and start looking at the prices in Aurora. All right, so right now, the single family detached home of homes that are $300,000 or less in this particular market, we've been averaging this month $277,000. Now, is that price bigger than last year or less than last year? How are we looking like in the context? Well, the statistics here show it's increased. It's increased by 8.6%. Okay, that's a little higher than even the national average, and we are still, rolling along. As you can see here in the 3-year context, going back to 2023, prices were averaging 235 in this particular market, and you compare that to 277, you're like, wow, the prices have increased. But just look at 1 year ago here in August of 2025, and a year ago we were at 265,000. Now, mind you, this is the median price. The median basically takes not the whole range of the highest and the lowest. It basically takes a safe number in the middle and it averages that middle portion. So it's a good conservative number, okay? So we're not taking into account outliers such as the highest price and then the lowest price. Just the average, right? 277 is what we're looking at here. Compared to last year, prices are going up. Now, let me kind of smooth things over so I could give you an idea of where it's going. And in the rolling 12 months, you could even look at 2025, prices have been pretty much flat. When you're looking into the median and smoothing it over, it's only 1% increase compared to last year. All right, now let me kind of look into the average sale price here, going and smoothing things over with the rolling 12 months. And it looks like since October 2024, we've been kind of trending around the 250 mark. All right, but again, seeing here in this last month, we did see a spike. Now, you can also see here that in 2023, again, we were averaging $237,000 for homes in this particular market. And as you can see, it has increased starting in July 2024. And then now that we're in 2026, it has gone up from 248 up to 252, okay? So what does that mean for you if you're looking to sell? If you're looking to sell in this general area, in this market, you know, you expect to have prices of homes anywhere, if your property is fully fixed up, you know, to be around the 300 mark or even higher. Just depends. Obviously, get in touch with your local realtor so that you can get that information specifically to you. Again, I'm a realtor myself here, 630-777-4597. You can reach me here. That's the number that you can absolutely reach me out. Now, if you have a property that is outside this area as well, I can do the same kind of assessment and, you know, get you the information. All right, so now that we looked at prices, that's one pillar. The second pillar is inventory or availability. Yes, that does have an impact, again, on the market and how people feel about the market in general. Do we have a lot of homes available? Are people complaining about not enough inventory? Like, what's going on now? If you watch my channel here, you'll see the previous market reports that I've uploaded. And the reigning dominant theme of those videos, of those market reports, have been that we have low inventory, and low inventory has been dominating the market ever since, well, I started doing real estate. And so what we're going to look at here is just a number of homes for sale, again, in this particular market. And as you can see here, in the last 3 years, the rolling 12 months, back in 2023, we had 87 homes in this market, and now we've dipped down to about 40. Okay, so we've been averaging about 40 homes available for sale. Now, as a realtor, every single day, I'm looking at the market, I'm seeing what's available, what's not. And on a daily basis, I've been seeing about anywhere from 25 to 30 homes available. Now, give or take, some of those are publicly available and some are private listed. But still, this number is accurate, okay? So we've been averaging around 40 properties. And you say, well, that's a lot of properties. 40 houses is a lot. But again, when I zoom out here, let me give you a 5-year view of what that number used to be. Back in 2021 here in the Aurora area, we had 155 homes in any given month, right? That was the norm back in the year 2021. And now, as you can see, that number's dropped a lot. Now, we've had other lows, such as March 2025, where we had 24 properties available. April 2024, we had 22 homes for. So there's a cyclical aspect to this, where we do have the low points happening around April, around May, around that spring market. And usually what we're entering into right now, as far as inventory is concerned, is a peak. Now, if you can see here, September 2022, we had a peak, all right? In September 2023, we had a peak of 51, but those couple of years really didn't have a lot. Again, October was another peak. All right, we're hitting a peak in September, October again. So as you can see here in the inventory, we do see peaks of inventory in this market happening around September, October. Guess what? Today, recording this video, it is August. So we're going into that peak inventory phase. And so you're thinking, okay, we're gonna have a lot of inventory, a lot of competition, but we're gonna get into the buyer aspect of this as well as far as demand goes, because if inventory is here and buyer demand is here and they're keeping up with each other, then we can have ourselves a balanced market. But do we have a balanced market here in the Aurora market? Well, we've already seen, all right, prices the way they are, they're going up, right? and they're pretty strong, and people have complained about prices, and we've seen here that the inventory is not at a high level, it's still low levels. And we're going to talk about the demand just right now. Let me just touch base on one more thing here when it comes to inventory, and that is the month supply. Again, month supply basically means that, if there's a lot of homes available in comparison to buyer demand, then we have a surplus of inventory, thus a buyer's market, okay? The baseline used to be, I want to say 6 months of inventory available, and if that availability drops below 6 months, then we have ourselves a seller's market. Again, a buyer's market means that there's just so many houses, and the buyer basically, it's like Christmas for them. They have a plethora of properties to choose from, and they are, in a sense, driving the bus, the buyers are, and they can be almost catered to. This is where you see sellers, bringing out home warranties and trying to lure buyers in, and they're the ones. The sellers are the ones bending over backwards to try to sell the home, balloons everywhere and everything else. But in a seller's market, now the ones driving the bus are the sellers. They're the ones that are in the driver's seat. They're the ones that are the kings, you could say. They're the ones that almost, in a sense, could be rude because they know that they're in demand, right? Versus the buyers. In this case, now the buyers are the ones bending over backwards for the sellers, and the buyers are the ones not asking for all these things, but actually removing things from a contract so that their offer might be more appealing. Now, the ideal situation in any market is really to be a balanced market where the seller gives a little and the buyers give a little, right? But in most of the cases here, as we're seeing here, buyer demand, it's still pretty strong, okay? Now, we're taking into account here the rolling 12 months just so that you could get an idea of the last 5 years. Buyer demand has been, as you can see here, inventory month supply has been at a 1. Now remember, we're talking about 6-month inventory. What does month inventory actually mean? Again, if the marketing, etc. stopped, right, and all the properties just stayed on the market, it would take 6 months for them to basically come off the market. If no new market, basically that's what it means. 3 months is basically a seller's market. Anything less than 3 months is a very strong seller's market. So in the Aurora market, in this particular single family detached under $300,000 in this area of Montgomery, Aurora, Illinois, North Aurora, Illinois, right? All these areas, it's saying here that the month supply for July 2026 is 0.9 months supply. So we're in dire need of inventory. Do you hear me? Please help us. We need more inventory here in the Aurora area. We need more listings. We need more folks looking to sell. Now you can ask, well, why are we so low? And there's factors such as the lockout effect. Basically the COVID, the time that they were, having interest rates drop so low and everybody's just trying to keep that. The other effect could be that, of course, prices of construction have gone up. Thus, builders are building less. And there's been an article, and I've also cited it here in the YouTube channel, that Illinois is also in very, you could say, we're past due in inventory and building houses. I think we need to have built, 45,000 houses every year for the next 5 years just to catch up with the inventory demand. So as you can see here, as long as there's buyers out here looking for properties, is there even going to be a crash, really? I mean, look, this is just the way the world works, right? Buyer demand, supply and demand is in effect. Okay, so yes, inventory is very low. We're at 0.9. That's pretty much it when it comes to the month supply. I mean, it's not even a full month. We're less than a month. So finally, we talked about the prices. We talked about the inventory supply. Now let's talk about buyer demand, okay? Buyer demand, basically the metric of it is, of course, look, anybody, you talk to anybody, they all, almost a lot of them say, hey, I want to buy a house. Okay, cool, we got all these people that want to buy a house. But how many of them, and they tell me all the time, Louis, I want to buy a house. Great, I got them in the database. But of those, let's say 10 that say they want to buy a house, how many of them are willing to sit and have an appointment with a lender? Maybe 5 of them only. And out of those 5, how many of them are pre-approved? Maybe 2 or 3 of them are pre-approved, right? And then of those that are pre-approved, how many of those are going to actually go out and do showings and request and work with an agent to seriously throw out offers? Maybe 1 or 2, right, of them. So that's the way I see this. And the metric that they're using is of those that are, of the 1 or 2 that are actually not just serious, but actually working with a realtor, are pre-approved and are actually throwing offers and doing appointments. There are let's take a look here. Actually, showings per listing, 16. Boom, there it is. Spoiler alert. 16 buyers per listing. Again, if based on my math, right, there's only like 10 to 20% of people interested actually are out there. If it's 16 per, imagine how many people actually want that property if they had the wherewithal to make it happen, right? That's a lot of buyers. And you could just look at it. If you go to Zillow, if you go to different websites, how many people have saved the listing? How many people have viewed the property? There's a lot of demand out there, okay, for properties. And so right now, 16, according to this metric, 16 shows per listing. And that's not even the highest. The highest we had was in April, 21 shows per listing. And listen, I mean, of those are just people looking at the houses. We're still hearing reports. Even the last few days, I heard of a report of a listing here in the Aurora area that received 30 offers on their property. Yes, 30 offers on their property. The demand is hot, just like the weather is hot. And I mean, not even all the rain and storms we've been getting here in the Chicago area can temper that. So anyway, that's the state of the real estate market, is that the buyer demand is just so much that regardless of, I mean, even right now, the sellers are not only not being, as aggressive getting the buyers, but in a sense, they almost feel like they can be sloppy with it sometimes, and they still get multiple offers. That's just the state of the market here in the Aurora area. So if you're thinking about buying a house, for sure, reach out to me here at 630-777-4597. Find yourself a great realtor that can help you with the buyer search. And just because there's so much demand out there doesn't mean you're not going to get in the door, okay? I recently worked with a buyer that was very aggressive in throwing out offers, and of the last 10 showings we did, we got them under contract 3 different times. Now, they were very picky about things, but 3 different conversations I had with listing agents that they were seriously considering getting this in the contract. So some folks can do it. It's just about your mentality. Now, if you want to talk more about buyer mentality and being aggressive and throwing out offers, which guarantees you to, I would say, get your offer accepted in no time, then reach out to me, either DM me or send me a text, 630-777-4597, and we can make it happen, okay? People are buying houses. Yes, there's limited inventory, but again, if you're looking for purchasing a property, don't get discouraged, and let's make something happen. Again, it's Luis Torres here with On Path Realty, 630-777-4597. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, like this, and share. Take care. We'll see you in the next market report.